Hi everyone. Today's Vagrein clip has to do with parenting of adult children and when is the right time to let go of the sense of responsibility that one has with their children or has to their children, and how to foster a really deep sense of knowing that the same way you're being guided through the universe, also your child is being guided through the universe and through their own specific journey in their path of life. Enjoy.
Look back at the early stages of parenting when they were younger, which I was not as awakened as I am now. And so I would go back and change things. But of course, but I wouldn't. I say that I would change it, but I wouldn't, because it's all perfect and unfolded in the way that it was meant to. Where I find that I do kind of slip into worry or anxiousness typically is around my children. It's harder for me to recognize that they are, masters and enlightened beings on their own journey. We've been so ingrained to parent and to guide them on their journey. And so taking a step back and allowing them to unfold and have their journey and have their experiences without that parental role continues to be an opportunity for me to grow. I don't know if you have any wisdom to share around parenting and what our role as parents are.
Yes, as a parent, your first job is to ensure the physical well-being of the child that is in your guardianship for a period, in that they are not able to take care of themselves physically up until a certain age. So of course, it is on you to make sure that they have the nutrients and the nourishment that they require. This is along the level not only of the physical vessel, but also on the emotional and the intellectual and the mental levels. So you have this role as a parent, yes, of the young ones. You are there also to teach them what love feels like, what it feels like to be cared for, what it feels like to be accepted, to be validated. All of these things, you have already gone through the journey of that obligation. Now, as you are in a state where your children are adults, you do not cease automatically, of course, to have a role or a connection or a soul contract with them in their lives. They will always see you as a point of reference for that state of loving and accepting and validation. And often a parent does arrive at the adulthood of a child and forget that they anyway have a inner child within them that is constantly seeking that connection with their parental figure. Therefore, what ends up happening is you have one of the main access points to help them to heal whatever issues that they had as a child that they could not deal with at the time. Of course, this would mean that your own issues would need to be healed or resolved in yourself, so that you could have the maturity to, with them, go into whatever it is that they would need to do. This is not the case for you in your relationship in this particular right now moment, because your children are still in that young adulthood journey of discovering who they are, independent from the family unit, and they are in a different phase. They have not come back full circle yet to when they start to analyze their childhood. It is too recent for them to be in that analytical phase, but it will come one day. For you, based upon your question, we would say that the most important aspect would be to remember that they too have a higher self, that they are in constant connection with, and that you never do know better than them. They always know best for them, including when they are going to make mistakes that they themselves would later say were mistakes. Now, this does not mean you cannot counsel them, especially when asked for counsel, especially when asked and also when not invited. You can tell your child, your adult child, that according to what you are seeing and according to your own personal experience in your life, the choice that they are about to make does not seem like it might be that which is most serving to them. But you would leave it at that. In other words, let's say your child is getting into a relationship that you can clearly see would not be of benefit to them in the long term for whatever reasons, because you have, yes, more experience with relationships, or you have, yes, more experience with dynamics and can see a dynamic playing out. You have been on the planet slightly longer than they have. And so you can say, hey, listen, sweetie, I believe that it's possible that you might want to consider if your needs are really being met in the relationship you are creating with this person. I have nothing specific against this particular person. I am just wanting you to know that healthy relationships are based upon mutual respect, or whatever the issue is. We are using this simply as an example, and propose it to them that way, reminding them that their life is theirs and that your opinion does not really count. And it is not even opinion. It is simply your perception based upon your own personal experience, which is no more valid than theirs. If you conduct your relationship with them in this very respectful manner, maybe they will take your advice 10% of the time. Because, as you know, young adults do not want to take the advice of their parents. This is where they are discovering themselves. But the love that you're transmitting to them in staying true to your faith that they will make whatever right choice for them is necessary, even if for you it is the wrong choice, will in the future give them a landing spot. Because if you say that relationship is not the one for you, I can't believe you are making this mistake, then they will not come back to you when they need you, when the mistake is confirmed. So it is an art with the young adult child, because you do remember them when they were 4 years old. And you do remember that they had the scraped knees and the tonsillitis or whatever else it was, and that you were the only point of reference for care for them in that moment. But remember that they then also had their higher self. It was simply a question of you, as you in your role, helping them to learn to listen to it. So you have a beautiful opportunity here if you mix this with the other question that you asked us. If you instill your sense of faith that everything will work out for them and transmit that to them, then your anxiety will diminish, your relationship with them will flourish, because we know that your development in the teenage years does cause at times much conflict between parent and child. But you are now coming out of that period of the brain development that does cause those sorts of hiccups in the relationship. And you have an opportunity to now create and establish and relearn who these beings are, developing the relationship that you want, not only for today, but in 10, 20, 15, 18, 30 years time with them.
Yeah, I love that. That's beautiful. Thank you.
We thank you. It is also helpful if, for example, you project yourself into the future and imagine your child at the exact age that you are now, and treat them with the respect you would if they were the age you are now.
Wow. Yeah. Okay. That is very useful. That definitely. Yeah, I'm gonna have to re-listen to all of that, because I do, there was a lot of wisdom in everything that you shared, and also just an ease of looking at yourself as a parent in that way. There's an ease about it, versus feeling the responsibility of their choices, or their path, which so many parents take that on.
Yes.
But letting that go and recognizing that, and like you said, that they know best, and that our opinion, it should not be valued higher than their opinion. So that is very, very useful. So I appreciate that.
We will add to it also, because you use the word, you can continue to be responsible, but responsibility is inaccurately used in the context of parenting. In the context of parenting, you are responsible in that you are able to respond. So it is not that you are responsible in that you have to prevent anything that would occur to them. it is responsible in that when things occur to them, you still have that space in your heart for them where you want to be as much of that safe space for them, as much of that help to them as possible. So your role can now come from a state of prevention, which is what is causing your anxiety, because you cannot prevent anything that will occur to them, to a state of being ready to respond, to be ready to, yes, hand the tissue during the heartbreak, to be ready, yes, to be up all night with them on the phone in a period of difficulty that they will face in their life. You can be that person to them who is always there. Only that it is not that you are always there in advance to tell them every step wrong that they might take. It is you are always there to respond to them in the way that is most fitting to their ongoing sense of esteem, sense of well-being, sense of being seen, validated, and loved in the same way as you did when they were small.
Beautiful. Yeah, that I love that. I definitely will remember responsibility in terms of being able to respond. I can definitely incorporate that. So thank you for that.
We thank you.
Thank you for watching this Vagrein clip. I hope you enjoyed it and that it served you in some way. Please do check out the events that we've recently published on the website at www.jpherman.com/events, and remember to like and subscribe. Thanks. Bye-bye.